This is the friendship recession. People now don't have as many close friends. And I want to specifically talk about, men because um, what they found was that 15% of men don't have any close friends. This was a survey done in 2021 where they asked who if you would have any friends, like, and 15% said that 15% said that they would have no close friends, and they had done this same study in 1990. And I can't remember the source exactly. I do remember the video. It's called Friendship Recession. You can go check it out. I thought it was pretty cool.
Link
But
in the description.
yeah, the link in the description. Okay, so but I do want to say that in 1990, only 3% of men said that they would have no close friends. It's a 12% difference of then and now, and I do want to say that a lot of the comments also said that friendship now has become very transactional. No, not transactional. It's become very monetized.
Yes.
Because it is more expensive. It is expensive to hang out with people, to hang out with friends, to do stuff. A lot of the stuff that friends do costs money. Things are getting more expensive.
That's true.
Things are getting things are just overall more expensive, and it costs more to hang out with people.
I think additionally, like, we're more and more isolated in our own thing. So, like, people who work from home, they don't have the chance to, like, are forced to go out to, like, social gatherings or, like, to the office to meet other people. Like, they're not out and about as much as, like, they could be. So that's like social isolation too.
Yeah,
in a way.
there was the video talked about this concept called workism, where people now are in general working more. I'm simplifying this, but they're prioritizing their work over their friendship and the connections that they do have, which makes sense. Especially now, especially with the last few years that have happened.
Do you have any examples? Because I can have an example of that specifically.
Okay, go. What's your example?
So when I got back from I guess time away from this area, I basically went abroad. So when I came back, I just dug myself into like going to school, and then I also just went and then worked at a company as well, just like doing security. So I was doing that, and then I had zero time for anybody.
Yeah.
My friend group was the people that I worked with, and my enemies were the people I worked with.
No.
Friendship and enemies, they're all there. But like by the end of it, I realized like it was great because like my social circle became where I worked, but it's very isolating when that doesn't exactly transfer over to like outside of work, or like you do hang outside of work, but like now that you don't have the connection of work, you can't take those friends. Well, I mean, or like they just like you just drift apart naturally. Like, oh, they just hang out with people that are there and want to talk about that, or they move on with their own life and they just gradually drift away. So it's like, of the people, like, is it hard to make friends? Like, maybe not, but however, the long lasting friends, the one that like stick around,
that's a close friend.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, I agree with you.
Because it's the whole thing where you're trying to like maintain your current social sphere. When I say that, I mean like not including like close friends. It's just like even at work, like you're trying to like maintain those relationships, and that takes time and effort. Like no matter what, it's just like even if you are the most extroverted, like you have X amount of time in the day.
Yeah.
And you can only like divvy it up to so many people, and like trying to keep tabs on 100+ people is not gonna cut it, because at that point you're not actually interacting with them. It's just like,
yeah, it's hard, and I think that it's I could completely understand why people now don't have as many close friends. It I think it just like what you said. I think things now take a lot more time, and I
Mm.
think that
Yeah.
also social media creates this
Mm.
false sense because the video did talk about online friends, but a lot of the comments did expand on how social media creates this false sense of friendship
Mm.
with like people online that who you might never meet. Like you wouldn't consider those your close friends. You could consider them friends. You would, but
Yeah.
it's not the same. It's you're not building those relationships. It also talked about
Mm.
how if you were in an emergency,
Oh, you're like your emergency contact.
yeah, it's no, it's like would you have friends that you would call? I think a lot of people are opting now like to say that I'm gonna call my parents, which is true, which is fair. You would call
Yeah.
your parents, but
I
at the
guess.
same
Yeah.
time there's not as many people who would also like have someone besides your parents. Let's say you
Mm.
don't, let's say like for some reason your parents aren't there or or are occupied and aren't able to answer. It's like who else would you call?
Mm.
It's
The
other it's
police.
the police. I mean the police are there. This is yeah.
Hey,
So
do you have any calls? Like, have you called 911?
oh my god.
No.
But yeah, but it's it made me think about it's like, you know, about your close friends, who you consider your friends, like what part of the circle are they in? Are
Mm.
they inner or are they outer? And
Inner or outer? What do you?
like
What do you?
like
What's your
if you
cutoff?
yeah, like it's like your inner is your close friends and your outer
Mm.
is like the people that you talk to on a more surface level who you
Mm.
just you interact with but don't really have as close of a connection with. um
I think the another thing is like the. I think it's difficult for people to open up about how they feel. Like, in terms of like men or just people in general. I think people in general have a hard time being vulnerable with other people.
mhm.
And I also feel that there is a like stigma because you're having a bad time, but on the inside you know that they too are also having a bad time. And it's not just like and not just like you having a bad time and like maybe you think that you're burdening the other person with your gripes that they also have.
Yeah,
So like it's also probably a stigma of like, you know, we don't have time for ourselves. How can we have time for other people?
that is
Not,
true.
even though like if like someone came up to me or like needed to talk or anything like that, I would have plenty of time to talk. But it's like the perception that you're preoccupied with your own like issues, like oh, you know, like the job, like even just getting preoccupied with like the news and like everything around the world is like really tough to deal with because like just constantly like oh no like things are happening in the world like the economies like we just talked about it was like is very bad or in a negative situation and you don't want to add to like other people's like issues and whatnot.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think it's the video did echo. It's like one of the hardest things to say is that you need a friend. Like you to say to yourself that I need a friend because a lot of people like just the whole it's actually so sad to think about because there was people in the comments that said it's like oh I'm 28 or like I'm 24 or I'm 36 and I don't have any friends. I don't have anyone I could call like a close friend. And it did say that it's not good for your mental health.
Mm-mm.
It's not good. Yeah, it's just not good for your mental health. And then I don't even want to get into parasocial relationships because that's a whole different topic that
What's that
people
even mean?
parasocial relationships
Do you
is
want to okay
no no
we
no
can move
no
it on to the next topic and then have that as a topic.
no I think this is it's good to include into this one because it does tie in with friendship and this was what I feel
Okay.
that a lot of people have been doing is that they make these imaginary friendships with online
Oh
content creators or something
yes.
like that. And that's what a parasocial relationship is. Personally, I am friends with Ludwig. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just
That's
kidding.
fine, that's fine,
He had said he's not my friend. He made
He-
a whole video,
you
YouTube video.
specifically?
He made a whole YouTube video about it. No,
That hurts.
it was such a long time ago. I'm pretty sure he's changed. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think that yeah, it's like these people build up these social relationship, or they build it up in their head that they're friends with these personalities online, and they're like they spend most of their time within that, like watching these people like on Twitch or
Yeah.
YouTube, and they're like, oh, I
In the
know this
comments.
person, but they don't, like, in reality they're not your friends. It's a whole, I think
It's like a one-sided thing, though. It's like the thing is that for them, especially streamers, they are putting themselves out there. Like they are talking to the audience as if they were friends or like right there with you, and it's like they do put in a friendly manner, but like you are correct where like that one-on-one connection is not exactly there, to where like yes he is like sharing this and you do know a lot about him, but like the inverse is not true, where he does not know a lot about you and what you're going through.
Yeah. But here at the State of Disarray podcast, we are your friends. No, I just wanted to say that. I think it's very I'm sorry, it was a serious topic. Okay. Yeah, building online personalities, friendships, I think it's important to build real friendships, real connections. Go
I don't know.
outside.
I
go
know.
outside.
Touch grass.
Go touch the grass.
No,
You-
the thing is that also it's just very difficult to like get to that point in a friendship, honestly, because when does like an acquaintance become a friend, and then the friend become a good friend?
It's layered.
And does like it have to be reciprocated?
I
Because
think-
like you could consider like someone a good friend, but they don't consider you a good friend at all.
I feel like it has to be reciprocated. I feel like it's like if it's not, then it's the same thing as watching people online, watching a streamer. I mean,
Yeah,
because they could talk to you. They like streamers could talk to you, but
Yes.
it's not.
Well, that's like
they'll-
talking at.
Yeah, it's like talking at. So I think it's a very deep topic.
Mhm.
I think it's good to reflect, and I think it's good to think about. That's my personal thoughts. I watched a video and I was like, huh, this is very interesting, and I was like,
I think
it made me
is
reflect.
it's a very like serious thing, because I think the statistic is like men have like one of the highest rates of like successful suicide.
Oh, I wasn't even gonna talk about.
Oh, well, I thought that was where I was going.
No,
It's like they don't
no, I wasn't gonna talk about that. I don't know where that
Oh.
came from.
I thought it was like they have nowhere to go. So then I thought that was where it was going. Never mind.
No.
Just kidding.
No, but that's okay. But that is a I didn't know that. I actually did not know that.
No, for real?
Yeah, no, for real.
So
for real.
the statistic is that women have the higher rate of attempts. However, men have the highest rate of completely going through.
We're gonna have to bleep this out, by the way, on
Nah.
YouTube. I was no. You,
At the end, it's fine.
Yeah, okay. You cut this part out. No,
I am not.
podcasts can have it. Okay, but go on.
No, the end of the video will have it. Nobody listens that long. It's
Okay.
It's 3 minutes.
Okay.
I know
go
the
on.
watch time.
Okay.
It's been longer than 3 minutes.
Okay. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it is something good. It's something to think about, and I think that it just echoes the importance of it. Which I'm happy. I'm happy that we talked about this. To be honest.
Do you have close friends?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Never mind. You have zero.
audio listeners, if you want to know what happened, I put my hand on Jason's shoulder, and then he's like, "You have no friends. We are associates at this point.
This is a business relationship.
This is
This is smoke and mirrors.
I'm gonna cut this part out. Cut this part out. Cut this part out.
Good
of
thing
the
I
YouTube.
it's staying in.
Oh my god.
No one listens this long, so we're
Okay.
good.
Okay, we can move on to the next topic though.
Okay.